Good morning, sunshine! Welcome, little explorers and grown-ups, to today's Fun Science Explainer, where we're going to learn all about the magnificent sun up in the sky and the amazing tricks it plays on the ground down below. I am so excited to guide you through this because today, we're going to discover the secrets behind something that follows you absolutely everywhere you go outside. Are you ready to become a scientist today? I know I am.
Okay, let's take a quick look at our adventure map for the day. We'll be covering the morning shadow stretch, midday magic with shrinking shadows, the afternoon shadow race, and finally, some fun shadow science activities.
All right, kicking things off with Section 1, the morning shadow stretch.
So picture this. You first wake up, rub your eyes, and step outside. The sun is just waking up too, sitting really low in the sky, maybe just peeking over the trees and houses. Now imagine you're walking outside in the bright, cheerful grass. When you look down at the ground, you might wonder, what exactly is that long, dark shape following you everywhere you go? If you wave, well, it waves. If you hop, it hops. But it looks so incredibly tall and stretched out. What could it possibly be?
Well, our excited little mouse friend actually noticed this exact same thing. Walking outside early in the day, the mouse looked down and went, "Whoa, look at my legs. They are super duper long. I look like a giant spider. Look how far my shadow stretches." And right they are. It is your shadow. In the morning, because the sun is so low, your shadow stretches out super, super far. So just like our mouse friend, can you do a big stretch right now? Come on, stretch your arms out wide like a morning shadow.
Moving right along to Section 2, midday magic, shrinking shadows.
Fast forward a bit and boom, it's lunchtime. Your tummy's probably rumbling and the sun has completely traveled across the sky. Instead of sitting low on the horizon, it's right up top, high in the sky, shining straight down on your head. And because of that, our little mouse noticed something pretty incredible. The mouse giggled and said, "Hey, where did my giant spider legs go? Now my shadow is tiny. It's hiding right under my feet. Look, I can step right on top of my own head. Stomp, stomp, stomp." Basically, those giant spider legs completely disappeared, turning into this tiny little puddle of a shadow right underneath the mouse's toes.
It literally seems like magic. Because the sun is shining straight down on us from high above, it makes our shadows incredibly tiny. So just like we stretched out big and tall for the morning, can you do this with me now? Try to squat down low. Make yourself as absolutely small as a tiny lunchtime shadow. Okay, next stop on the map, Section 3, the afternoon shadow race. Now the sun is getting ready to say goodnight, right? It starts turning the sky those beautiful shades of orange and pink. If we track the sun's journey throughout the whole day, we see it starts over here, low in the sky in the morning, then it travels all the way up to go high overhead at noon, and finally it just keeps moving over to the completely other side of the sky in the afternoon. It's literally always on the move. And this perfectly shows the huge difference between the shape that stretches out super far across the grass and the one you can just step right on top of. See, when the sun is low, the shadow is long, but when the sun is high, the shadow is short. It is this constant game of shape-shifting all day long, completely controlled by where that bright sun is positioned up above us. So, the really crucial takeaway here is that the sun is actually just acting like a giant flashlight in the sky. Think about holding a normal flashlight. If you shine the light from the side of your favorite toy, the toy's shadow stretches out really long across the floor. But if you hold that flashlight straight above the toy, shining directly down, the shadow shrinks down super small. The sun is doing the exact same thing to you. And as our mouse friend noticed in the late afternoon, because the sun is shining from the side again, just the other side this time, the shadow stretches out long once more. The mouse yelled out, "Look, it's growing again! It's stretching the other way! Let's race our shadows. Ready, set, go!" Since the shadow is so long and tall again, it is just the absolute perfect time for an afternoon race. All right, bringing us to our final stop, Section 4, fun shadow science activities. We have learned so much today just by following how the sun moves. Now it's time for you to become a real-life shadow scientist. You've got 3 outdoor playtime missions. Step 1 is the morning giant. Step 2 is the lunchtime hide and seek. And step 3 is the silly monster pose, which honestly you can do whenever you just feel like being completely silly. So here's exactly what you need to do for these experiments. First, for the morning giant, go outside early when the sun is low and try making yourself taller than a tree.
See just how far your shadow can reach. Then, for lunchtime hide and seek, head out at noon when the sun is high overhead and see if you can hide your entire shadow right under your shoes. Just stomp right on it. And finally, for the silly monster pose, wave your arms around, do a little dance, make a funny face, and watch your shadow copy every single move you make.
Science is just so much fun, especially when you get to play outside and figure out how the world works. But hey, before you run outside to keep exploring and testing out that giant flashlight in the sky, I have to ask you one final, very important question to end our explainer today. What kind of silly monster pose are you going to try first? Are you going to roar like a lion? Maybe wiggle like a worm? Decide on your pose, grab a grown-up, and go have a truly fantastic sun adventure. Keep exploring, and we'll see you next time.